Talon, what's up, man? How you doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm doing really good. I had just finished up the workout, and then I'm finishing up my throwing program. So it's been really good. This week's been it's been really good.
Yeah, no doubt. And coming off a week where you actually got to sign, which we'll get into all that, but favorable weather if you're outside and doing workouts, playing ball. So no complaints there. But before we get into your story, I like to break the ice, ask a couple questions just to kind of know about you and who you are like right now. And so we always like music first. And if you could go see anyone in concert right now, who you want to go see?
Ah, that's a good question. Okay, so I was supposed to go to the Morgan Wallen concert before. I'm a country. I love country music, so I was supposed to go to the Morgan Wallen concert, the one that he never showed up. But I actually started getting into more like a rap music, and so 21 Savage, that type of music, I've started to really like. I don't know. That's getting me hyped up before workouts, getting me hyped up before a throwing or a pitching session. Like, man, it's been that's kind of like my go-to music now.
Yeah,
So
I'll tell you the Morgan Wallen story is always funny for me because the LSU Ole Miss baseball game was then right as people were lining up around Vaught Hemingway. So Travinsky hit a game-winning home run for LSU, and I was leaving, and I saw all the people wrapped around the building waiting. And so then when the news had broke, I was like, man, I couldn't imagine because I saw so many people in line dressed all nice and excited. And I was like, man, they're going to be upset. And then obviously you saw the fallout from it. But nonetheless, the dude is killing the game. We've had like 9 out of every 10 guests come on here, male or female, say he's the top person they go and see in concert. So Morgan, even though he's not showing up at a concert here and there, he's doing things right. As far as rap, I was the same way. Obviously, I played football, not baseball, but it was the way I always got hyped up. Country definitely wouldn't have been the way I would go, but thinking about baseball, the fact that you do play, what's your favorite baseball movie?
oh, okay. So I'm kind of like a the rookie. I've always liked the rookie. Now there's the Hill.
Mhm.
That I thought that was one of it's a newer movie. It's about a kid who like struggled walking, and he did not let that like stop him. And I thought that really contributes to my life.
Mhm.
And so I feel like that more resembles me. And ever since that movie, like I feel like I really learned a lot from it too.
Yeah,
And
I
that
mean, both
and
movies were adversity, right? And in the rookie, just gives him that dream that he always want to fulfill. But then also the valuable lesson in it was how much his family meant to him, right? And being away from them was not more valuable in playing baseball. So, he got to do his thing, but ultimately it's go back, to your family and be with them. So, both really cool stories. Baseball movies, right? Like that's why we asked the question specifically to baseball players. There's 10 times more baseball movies than any other sport, and they're all phenomenal. So you really can't have like a wrong choice. For me, I'm still a kid, right? Sandlot is my go-to. I'm a big rookie of the year. So Daniel is actually more on the he likes the older movies. So to each their own, but baseball is, you can't go wrong. It's elite. But let's get into your story. For those who don't know, where are you actually from?
I'm from South of Mississippi, South Haven, Mississippi, and I'm a senior, and I go to school at Lewisburg High School.
Well, you know, for those who don't know, you come from a big family talking about being in South Haven, and when I say big people, I don't mean just a lot of people. I'm talking about some big people. So tell those who don't know who all's in your family.
Okay, so I got my dad. He went to college in Kentucky, played football there, and he is 6'4". My mom's 5'10". She played basketball at West Virginia Wesleyan. And then my older brother Gage, he went to Mississippi State. Now he's at Little Rock. He's a right-handed pitcher, and he is 6'8". And then I'm second oldest. I am 6'2", 6'3" ish. And then I got Brolin. He's like 6 foot. And then my youngest brother, he's 13 years old, and he is 6'8". It's
Yeah,
it's insane.
I've seen it, and it's no doubt that he took basketball up because I absolutely would if I was that tall. I mean, when you talk about mom and dad both being athletes, it's no doubt that all the kids have turned out the way they are. So I got to ask, growing up, I know how close you are, but it's got to be highly competitive with everybody being athletes. Was it real competitive growing up?
Oh, there is no doubt about it. We'd be out, we're outside playing football, playing baseball, and I'd say every other day there's going to be a fight that breaks out because one team's not winning, one team's losing, and it gets intense. Now the games are awesome just because of that, but
Mm.
it's no doubt competitive.
Well,
Whoever,
bless your mom for dealing with all you boys. That's, man, it's got to be a lot.
yes, sir. She says if you get like, there's no coming inside unless a bone sticking out of the body or something like that. We got to
Who
put.
who would you say of the boys, and if it's you, be honest, who would you say is the best athlete?
100%. I think it's me.
I mean, that's the right answer. Look, you gotta bet on yourself. If not, like, what are we doing here? Like, so
Right.
so you obviously have a story that I want to get into. You're obviously known for what you're doing right now, EBC, Lewisburg, all that, but you obviously had some adversity growing up. Talk about when you were diagnosed with cancer. What type of cancer, for those who don't know?
Okay, so March, it was like early March of 2022. I had went to we actually went to Starkville. It was going to be one of our first round of playoffs, and we went to Starkville, and then we ended up we lost that, like I said, round of playoffs. We came home, and I didn't feel really good. I thought it was just I was coming down with something like a cold or something, and I noticed like a tightness, and I had a lot of swelling in my right shoulder. And so we went to the doctor, got that all checked out, and he just said, "Man, it looks like just a swollen lymph node,
Mm-hmm.
and you could be just like it could be because you're getting sick." Well, like praise God, the doctor I went to he's a former radiologist, and so he's kind of seen that the cancer side of things, and so we got a biopsy. He advised us to go get a biopsy, so we got a biopsy on it, and first two scans came back completely clean. And the final scan, it actually said that I have stage 3 non-Hodgkin's lymphoma,
Mm-hmm.
which is like just it's cancer in your lymph nodes. And the reason why it was stage 3 is because it was in my spleen too.
Mm-hmm.
Just that, and from just that being said, that's why it bumps up that high risk too.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was, thank God, like I said, I was able to get right into it from them. And so I was able to get right into chemo within the next month. Like it was really quick. I was able to start chemo and get straight in there. And it was 20 rounds of chemo and it was 21 rounds of radiation.
Mm.
And I kept on throwing through it. I kept on playing because I really felt like that was 100%. I've never truly felt the power of prayer if it
Mm-hmm.
was for that. And I feel like my calling was I needed to keep playing, and that was going to be my break. It was going to be my way out. I can completely forget about that. I'm a patient. I can completely forget about that.
What's your strength like? Because my mom went through chemo, and I remember she was very weakened. So when you're throwing, like, obviously it's your outlet, but I mean, are you feeling the effects, and is it showing up when you're throwing?
So it is, yes, sir. I would go throw up before games, and then my body would feel weak. But like you said, it's my outlet. It's my way out. So if I'm not here, I'm gonna be on the couch. I'm gonna be on somewhere that it's only gonna be a mental problem for me. So if
Mhm.
I'm out here playing baseball, that's all I'm thinking about. I'm out here with my family, or my second family. I'm just having fun with them. And so that was the reason why I handled it so well. And yes, my strength was weak. Like I said, I'd go throw up. I'd feel super dizzy, but like I'd get chemo on a Thursday, Friday I'd pitch, and so it would be like a bang bang. But
Yeah,
I
I think that was key for you because I spent way too much time sitting around thinking, because I was no longer in the military because of it, and whereas you were going and looking to thrive during it, I had more of the survive mindset, right? And I think that comes a lot with your faith because I wasn't strong in my faith then. It also comes with your support system, which you're bringing up. I think those are key elements, and I think it makes a big difference, right? Because you chose not to be a victim of your circumstance, right? Most people would go the, woe is me route, but not you, right? Like, I'm going to continue to grind. I'm going to continue to work towards what I've planned. And then on top of that, you didn't see it as, a death sentence like some people. At stage 3, I had stage 3 as well. I had a lot of people, oh man, it's, catastrophic, right? But like, you're still going out and doing your normal thing. And that's why it's inspiring, like, just and why I wanted to have you on. The fact that you kept, and that was something I knew already, just was giving it to those to listen. The fact that you just kept doing what you're doing is wild to me, man. Like, you didn't sit around and pout. Like, talk about, I wanted to ask, because I know you're open about it. Talk about your faith within that and how much it played a role. Obviously, we know about your family, but specifically when it came to faith. And, I always like the graphic, God's plan and our plan, and ours is like that straight, narrow path, and God's is all curvy, right? And that's the way it is. It's never going to go just the way we want it. It wouldn't be, right if we didn't have to face some adversity and show our strength. So talk about that.
Okay, I'm going to go through a couple of stories if you don't mind.
Absolutely.
So first off, when I was first diagnosed, I came inside and my parents were crying, and I had no clue. I kind of knew in the back of my mind what was going on, but I wouldn't have thought anything like this. And so I went to take a shower, and I'm being dead serious with you. I've really felt God tell me that I'm going to be okay. I felt God saying, like, you're going to be okay. And then a little while later, I was getting chemo. I wasn't doing really well. And my mom posted something on Twitter and said, "Hey, Talon's not doing well. Please send prayers." And like, I'm not kidding. 5 seconds later, I wouldn't even say, it was probably like a snap, and I was a completely different person. I was like laughing around, and it was like there was no other explanation than God was there. And so it was definitely a rough time. Like, it was like, I wouldn't wish that upon anybody, but you will never see how strong God is through that. You will never understand how much of an impact he put on my life through that. If you don't like go through that, when you do go through that, God will show in your life in all these different ways, and it's going to.
It says in the Bible, he's not going to give us anything that we can't handle.
Right, exactly. And so I've always stood by that. And then I've always stood by, you do not realize it was like that in John 13:7, that you do not realize what I'm doing now, but later you'll realize. And so I've been able to reach out to so many people that are going through cancer, that are going through like similar cancers that I have, and they're looking for an outlet. They're looking for some just advice. And I was able to reach out to so many people through that. And it's like, I'm like so thankful that God has let me handle the way I did, and like reached all these people through this. And like I said, I'm like, it sucks that it's not something I would want to go through or want anybody to go through.
Mm-hmm.
But through this, I have, like, God has worked in my life so many different ways.
Yeah, and I think it molds you for the future, because you're going to deal with adversity in the game of baseball, right? It's a game of failure. You're going to have struggles in college, but it's not going to be anything harder than what you've already now dealt with. And, talking about the inspiration, I looked up the scripture. 1 Timothy 4:12 says to not let people look down on you because you're young, but to set an example for believers in your speech, conduct, love, faith, and purity. Man, that's what I think of when it comes to you, because you even inspired. My mom had wrote her a message, and my mom's in her 5th bout with cancer and 70 years old, right? But even you, as a teenager, have been able to inspire her and other people. And I think that's why the scripture is important, because even though, yes, you're young, you've already faced so much, and you can be an encouragement to others. So I think it's really valuable. And, you talking about, your mom and praying for you. That was one of my favorite parts through the whole thing. Before I even knew you, was seeing, your family's post and seeing the whole community like get back and support you. Even like the DC, right? Like, as much as the DC Lewisburg's a rivalry, right? But you see all the DC people support, and that shows, it's bigger than the game, right? So the whole thing is as much as it's a negative, right? It's even more of a positive.
Yes, sir. There's no doubt about that. And then like you hit it around it, but through that, I've learned to appreciate, like, baseball can be taken away so fast, and I've learned to appreciate that. And I'm like, the amount of time that you get on the baseball field is so limited and so temporarily, and so it's like you gotta treat this as like this just enjoy it, go have fun out there, and that's what I've really learned. Like when I'm on the mound, I'm smiling. You'll see me. Now, I'll get into it. I'll say like I'm a completely different person than I am on the field and off, but I'm still smiling. I'm like having fun. That's one of the biggest changes I did notice. Like I'm appreciating it so much. Just thankful I can get out and play another day.
Absolutely. So, let's get into that. Talking about Lewisburg, I've gotten to see you play. Lewisburg has just been putting out an amazing amount of talent. Starting from when we had Brady Tiger and Braden Sanders on a few years ago. Obviously, had Stone on last year. Went and watched you guys last year, but the year before, you obviously win a state championship. So, what's it like? We asked those guys the same question, but being at a school, not everybody has the luxury of playing at a school that's, as talented and legit as Lewisburg is. Just how much fun is it playing in that program?
Man, it is awesome, especially my brothers are in it. I get to play with them. But like I said before, we grew up playing together, and so we're a family. This is my second family here. And so playing with them, especially the talent that we have that are just on our team in general, like I'm not I'm going to go out there and pitch, but I know that when I'm not if I'm not doing my best, I got someone else right behind me that's willing to like give it their all, give it their best. And no one's going to just like everybody wants to be the best they can. No one's going to get in there and put half effort in. Everybody's going to go in there and have each other's back. If someone is struggling, we're going to go pick them up. If someone's sitting on the bench, someone's going to go get them up off the bench. It's not only just like it's a family, it's a brotherhood. It's like if someone's down, we're going to pick them up and then help them out, and they're going to be back on that field with us just in general. Like it's like it's crazy the brotherhood that we have. Like everybody's really really talented.
Mm-hmm.
We will go out in that field, and it doesn't matter the talent that you have. You could be from JUCO, D1, uncommitted. It doesn't really matter. We're brotherhoods on that field. We're family. That's kind of what my mindset through it all is.
Yeah, no, and I'm excited to see what you guys do this year. Last year you were hurt in the postseason, right? That's why you couldn't pitch.
Yes, sir.
That's
Yes.
what I thought. And obviously I'm not going to go deep into it, but I actually did it with Coach Carr from Hernando when we had him on here. I told him they were the benefit of some bad calls in that game, and he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, I'm sure you don't, but nonetheless, I look forward to y'all getting some get back at Hernando. Hopefully this year they're going to be talented again. And man, high school baseball in North Mississippi is different. I tell people, if you did a per capita breakdown, because Mississippi is obviously population-wise is a lot smaller, but if you just did North Mississippi, the amount of talent coming out of this area could arguably be top in the country when you break it down numbers-wise. And man, there's no better place to watch high school baseball. Obviously, DC has pumped out a lot, Hernando and you guys, and so I get excited every season that it comes around. So with that, talk to me about this upcoming season. How have you guys looked? You talked about the workouts and everything. Obviously, y'all have a coaching change too. How have y'all been working through that? Give me an update on Lewisburg baseball.
So we're gonna be a really scrappy team, and it's gonna be interesting. I'm really looking forward to just this next year when everybody's out in the field. We're scrimmaging. We're doing like these live inter squads because I feel like everybody's really really pushing in the weight room, and we have four seniors, and all four of the seniors are stepping up. They're leading the team, and even the juniors, they're stepping up, and everybody's just pushing each other. So we have Monday we'll run, and Tuesday we're working out. Wednesday, Thursday we're doing something like whether it's hitting, whether it's pitching, or throwing, or like arm care. We'll do something like that, and then Friday we're working out. And every single day we are pushing each other, pushing ourselves. And so like on paper, we may not be like just like full of commits like we were last year in the past years, but this team that it's going to be really, really exciting to watch. We're going to be a really scrappy team. Everybody's going to be pushing each other. And I think this upcoming year is going to be a fun year for us.
Nice. Well, I'll tell you, this is my advice as far as playing for Lewisburg. I don't know how Vandy shakes out as most guys, when they're coming there for one thing, they don't get to do the other. So enjoy that time, hitting and playing in the field. And, because unless Corbin changes his ways, I don't see you doing both. But nonetheless, I would say have the most fun with that, because it may be your last run at that. But let's talk about, you just signed with Vandy. You've been committed for a while. When did you actually commit to Vanderbilt?
I think it was early of my sophomore year that was when as soon as I finished chemo, or as soon as I finished cancer, and I was considered remission. That's when I announced my commitment, and I knew that was my home. That was the place to be.
So is this one of those things where you always, dreamed of being a Vandy boy playing for Corbin, or was it, when you're weighing your options, it was the best place for development, win a national championship? Talk to me about that process.
So my ultimate goal, I want to be the best pro baseball player that's ever played. And so I was looking and just kind of visiting. I had my options open, and I stepped foot on Vanderbilt campus. And from there, it was just the coaching style. I thought it was so cool that they had a little tent out, and it's cold outside. Like, it was during the winter time, and they have a little tent, and they weren't allowed to get into the locker room. They had to earn that locker room. They had to earn their jerseys. You can't wear a Vanderbilt jersey until you earn it. And so I thought that was the coolest thing, because I'm a really competitive kid. And so I want to be pushed to get this stuff. I want to earn this stuff. I don't want it to just be handed to me. And so when I heard about that, man, it was the coolest thing. I was all over it. And I felt like this is the place to be. And then when I got to talking to Tim Corbin, I got to talking to Coach Brown, and I know Mike Baxter was left, but he was a big part of it too. And when I got to talking to all the coaches, man, it was awesome. I knew that was going to be my home in the next couple of years.
Nice. Yeah. I mean, the amount of talent that's cranked out at Vanderbilt, obviously, like you talk about when it comes to them and their development. And then also on top of that, academically, that tells me a lot, because if you choose Vandy, you clearly are somebody who prioritizes academics, or you wouldn't go there, because Vandy doesn't let guys go. You can be the best baseball player in the world. If you don't do your studies, you're gone. And so it tells me that you prioritize academics as well. So excellent choice. I would have told you to go to LSU personally, but, is what it is. But, talking about going there, how do you stay focused on, you were talking about how excited you are for Lewisburg. How do you not get too excited about the future and just focus on where you're at now?
Man, so I've never really thought the moral I kind of stand by is first off, the past is in the past. The future, there's no need to worry about that. There's a Bible verse that it was you don't need to worry about the future. Consider the present, because you're not guaranteed tomorrow.
Right.
I've stood beside that, and man, I am so excited for Vanderbilt. But I'm especially going back to what I said about you can have baseball taken away from you just in the snap of a finger. Mm-hmm. So I've learned to just let me enjoy just getting out there pitching again, and mm-hmm. man, I'm gonna go to college, and I'm gonna go have fun with that. I'm gonna be stupid competitive, mm-hmm. and we're gonna go win a national championship there. But I'm just I'm enjoying having fun, just playing with my brothers out in the baseball field. And
yeah, and just keep that mindset. We have so many guys from the SEC on, and the ones who seem to have the most success are the one that remember that it's a game, right? And to have fun. Sometimes the guys who take it too seriously, they end up pressing themselves. They end up, way too stressed out. And so just, continue to smile, continue to have fun. Realize it's a game of failure, and you're going to have bad days. And especially playing in the SEC, you're going to be going against the best of the best every single weekend. So, keep doing that. And I would, especially with your faith, surround yourself with the right guys who is going to have an iron sharpens iron mentality, not just on the field, but man, as far as your faith. But I think, man, sky's the limit with your mentality, the adversity you've been through, your faith, your talent, everything that, comes to it. But we're going to start by seeing you, hopefully, with your boys win another state title. I'm ready for it. Obviously, we got to go through winner. It's crazy. I feel like baseball's like just right there on deck, and maybe it's because I've checked out on football because LSU is not very good. But the reality is we still got a couple months before we get there, but I'm ready for it. But with that being said, we play a game with all our guests called This or That. You down to play?
I think so. I watched Stone and Sam. I think it's the same one.
Yeah, we've played it with every single guest we ever had. The questions, some of them may be the same, some of them not, but it's simple. I give you two options. You choose one or the other. Just can't say neither, can't say both. You down?
I'm down. Oh,
All
speaking of that though, LSU season's not over though. You guys got Vanderbilt coming up.
Yeah, we're gonna lose. We're gonna lose to Vanderbilt this week. What are you talking about, man? It's over, dude. They're not very good. And look, since we're going there, since we've been talking about faith, Nussmeier, man, good Christian kid, man, great head on shoulders. I love him as a person, but man, he is struggling on the field, and it's tough to watch. Ever since A&M, when he threw those 3 picks, he has lacked confidence in his throws. I don't know what we talk about the failure thing, right? I don't know what it takes for him to get his confidence back down. I thought maybe if he had like a good drive and put together some throws, that would happen. But last week he did that, and he still just really wasn't good for a couple drives. So I don't know what he's got to do to get his confidence back. Hopefully, the one positive I can find from this is he was rated as the 4th best quarterback that would be in the draft if he went. I'm hoping that he'll now stay at LSU and, try to get better. And the one thing that would be cool, Talon, I'll tell you, Joe Burrow and Jaden Daniels in their first year were both actually pretty mediocre. And then the second year they won Heisman's. So if I'm him, I'm trying to convince him at that point, hey, you know what? There's still room to improve. Come back. Let's try to compete for a championship. Maybe you get a Heisman. Maybe you be the number 1 quarterback off the board. But we'll see. But Vandy, based upon what I've seen so far, the only thing that I feel good about is it is at LSU, I think, right?
Tonight, so it's going to be.
Yeah. So, I don't think it'll be at night because I have to look because you're only eligible for so many night games. But, either way, Vandy's been an amazing story this year. Oh, it is at night. Dang, Lane Kiffin's going to lose his mind. LSU got another night game. I don't know if you saw that. He said they've only gotten one night game and LSU gets another shocking, which, I mean, hey, Lane, get 40,000 more seats in your stadium, But no, I was there for Alabama. I'll tell you, Talon, no regrets. Everybody's like, I bet you wish you didn't go. No, man, because pregame and in the opening with Colin Baton Rouge and all the videos and the hype video and the band and all that, you can't replace 102,000 people. The light show, and it was, as a veteran, they did a whole Veterans Day tribute and everything with the band and the lights. And it's like, man, when it was 14-6 still, even the place was rocking. It wasn't until they went up 21-6 that the crowd was out of it. And I said, so for at least like a quarter and a half and all the pregame, I was like, it was absolutely worth it. Yeah, it didn't go right, but, you're not going to find another environment like that on Saturday night. So where else would I want to be?
Mm-hmm. No, there's no doubt.
But yeah, I mean, I think Vandy could definitely come in there. I'm definitely not going to get confident when we've lost 3 in a row. You know what I mean? But to This or That, brought to you by Chinook Seedery, the best seeds in the game. Did you get any when I gave them to your teammates?
I did not. I was ready for it, and then they kind of just gave it off. I think that was the game I was pitching. Pitching. So I was getting my mind, I was getting focused, and I think I was in the bullpen.
Man, they couldn't save any bats. I gave them 2 full boxes. Golly.
No, I wasn't.
Stone got to do his fellow pitcher better than that, but I'll get y'all something out there for this season so I can find out what is the best flavor to you, and then they will have them at Vandy. I got Ryan Prager set it up for us to there. We try to get them in every SEC dugout, but it's brought to you by Chinook Seedery, and when you get a chance to get them, I got some tips for you. But are you a coffee or an energy drink person?
100% energy drink. I'll walk up.
What's your go-to?
Do what?
What's your go-to energy drink?
Okay, so I either go Ghost or Alani. I get the Sour Patch Kid Ghost, or I get the purple Alani, and I'll walk on the mound if I'm closing a game. I have fun with it. So I'll take my cleats. I'll like shotgun. I'll get the cleats and start I don't know. I'm stupid with it when I'm closing a game out. and I'll get as much energy drinks as I can find, and then I get on the mound.
No, I like the Ghost Sour Patch Chew. I actually, my daughter and son drink the Alani's. I actually haven't had them, but I do have the Alani pre-workout actually, and it tastes really good. So, being that it's the flavor of the energy drink, I can imagine. So, would you rather have pizza or tacos?
Ooh, probably pizza. I'm gonna have to go pizza. I know it's not the healthy, and I'm a really healthy eater. But when I'm going on my cheat days or something like that, pizza's definitely the way to go. I'll
Pizza's
get a
the number one cheat meal. I'm with you. And when I do it, like it's not a little cheat. Like we're not talking about a couple of slices. If I'm gonna go ahead and cheat, we're gonna go 4 or 5 slices and we're gonna do it all together.
I'm gonna take out the whole pizza. I get
You
a
I can't lose it like you do. Like if I do a whole pizza nowadays, I'm gonna pay for it for a whole week. But I feel you. When I was younger, I definitely didn't mind getting a whole one by myself. All right.
there's
These next three are, MILB mascots. Which one you would rather basically play for and wear based upon their name? All right. So we got Rumble Ponies or Mud Hens. What you like better?
mud hens. I just
All
think
right.
that just sounds like just the
Well, these 6 are all elite. That's why we picked these. The mascot itself is awesome. The logo is awesome. In the uniform. So the biscuits or the rubber ducks.
Oh, I'm gonna have to go the rubber ducks.
I mean, you're laughing, but if you're gonna be the professional baseball player you hope to be, you're gonna be wearing the MILB mascots are crazy. This is what makes it fun because these next two, you ready? The yard goats or the trash pandas?
Oh, we're gonna go yard goats. I
And the
like that.
trash pandas, as if that wasn't already one. When I went to go watch some of our guests play in Rocket City at the AA Park this year, their alternate is the Lunatics, and it's got a crazy dog with a baseball hanging out its mouth. So
That is awesome.
these Yeah, I mean, we went through the whole list of them. It's crazy, and like I said, they're color combos and all that, but can't go wrong. I actually got the yard goats. Chase Dolander sent me one that's over there, and it's signed by him, and it's green, white, and blue. Like the color pattern's perfect, but the yard goat, it's definitely elite. Sticking
That's
with
awesome.
animals, but no longer mascots. Would you rather wrestle a bear or wrestle a tiger? To be clear, you're not winning either, Talon. It's just about which would you rather go, is it the thought of which will take me out quicker, which will have the best chance of survival, whatever your mentality is.
I'm going with the tiger. I feel like I have a better chance of beating him. I feel like he's not as big. I feel like once a bear gets on top of me, I have nothing I can do about that.
Tigers weigh like 600 pounds. Don't get it twisted.
Oh, 100%. But a bear, I don't even want to know what that feels like on top. Like that's just like no. I feel like I can take a tiger maybe.
Maybe. All right, you go from 2 bad options to 2 good options. Would you rather go to the lake or go to the beach?
Oh, I'm going to the beach. I'll go to the beach. You can play like baseball on the beach. You can play football on the beach, and you can just so you kind of like get away. Now, don't get me wrong. Lakes are awesome. Like skiing, I just learned how to wake surf and wakeboard. I learned how to do that this year, first year to do it.
I'm
And
surprised you picked the beach then, because that's why I like the lake better. Is all the stuff you get to do out on the boat.
right, no, it was, but like I just feel like being at a beach, the breeze, just getting out on there. Because a lot of the times we go to the beach, it's baseball tournaments. So we'll go out, we'll play, we'll just have fun. We'll go out, play baseball on the beach, go play football on the beach, and I don't think it doesn't get much better than that.
My last trip on the beach was this past summer, and I tell you, it was disaster town. I was supposed to be meeting Ben Joyce at the Angel Stadium. He had me set up there, obviously a multi-time guest on here, and we were out there so long that I lost track of time. And I was like, you got to get me back. I got to get over to the game. And they were already like planning on going to dinner at the beach and this, that, and the other. And I looked and it was like a $85 Uber ride. And then on top of that, I had like sand all over me. And I was like, you know what? I'm just not going to go. And then Ben ends up having his first major league save that night. And I'm like, come on, man. Like, and so then I had to apologize because he had me set up and I didn't get to go watch his first save. At least, though, it was 2 weeks later that he threw the 106-mile-an-hour fastball. If that would have been what happened, I never would have forgave myself down.
Right. That's insane though. Like just how hard he's throwing. Now, like I'm pray to God one day that I'm gonna be throwing that hard. I think that'd be
Well,
sick.
I'll tell you, you were talking about the weight room. That dude, going back to when he's at Tennessee and all the guys talked about it, his teammates would come on here and talk about it, and then we talked to him about it. That dude is a gym rat. He spends so much time in the gym. And so if you look, I mean, when he throws, if you look at his arm, I mean, he's jacked. Like, and so
Right.
anybody who says you can't like or don't work out too much or whatever, Ben shows that that's not true because he works out a ton and he's throwing 106. So it's working out just well for him.
Right.
All right, this might be the hardest question I give you for me personally because this is tough. You know, I think about the pinstripes of Vandy, think about the pinstripes of Lewisburg. I have went on record saying I guarantee you no one has a better uniform kit in high school than Lewisburg. I mean, elite. So I ask you, who's got a better uniform kit, Lewisburg or Vanderbilt?
Oh, Vanderbilt.
Oh,
Like,
why are you playing? You didn't even think hard, dude. Lewisburg literally got the powder blues of Ole Miss, which has been regarded as a top uniform, has the pinstripes just like Vandy has on a dark uniform, which are rare. Like, and you just dismissed it.
no, look, okay. Lewisburg's jerseys are like I love them, every single one of them. But like I think it was last weekend, no, 2 weekends ago, I went on my official visit. I got to try on all the uniforms and everything, and man, it was so good to be in one of them. And then their uniforms just so nice. The pinstripe looks good. They feel good. Now I have heard. I don't know if it's true or not, but Lewisburg may be coming out with another uniform.
Nice.
Now,
See, as an LSU fan, see, the problem is we're so traditional. We refuse to do an alternate uniform. So you're only going purple, gold, and white, and it'll never be anything else in between. And it's like, I mean, like what it would look like to have a black uniform with purple and gold. And anytime I bring it up, the traditionalists lose their mind. So, you know, we at least on our new all white uniform did some different piping and made it look different, but it's still, man, we don't do as much fun stuff as Vandy and all the other schools who have an alternate uniform. Like almost every school's, you know, as long as they have a good color pattern, their alternates always look awesome.
right? No, their jerseys. I love Vanderbilt's jerseys. We got the green. We have the white, and then we have white pants you can wear with like a gold top, black top.
You know, I like the military one as a veteran. You can't go wrong with that one either.
One that has it's like the Vanderbilt right here on the chest,
Mm-hmm.
and the pinstripes. Those are my favorite ones. The black and gold pinstripe. No, those are the top.
You know, I told Prager this. You know, we're not big Vandy fans on this podcast, and I'm a fan of you. So when you get there, and it's gonna be hard to root on them pinstripes. But you know, if you're pitching, I'll do it.
No, I appreciate that.
All right, next question. This has been a hot debate. You know, on our pro show that we have with the pros, me and Mike, we go back and forth. He says, you know, Ohtani has passed Mike Trout as a better player. I say Mike Trout's hurt and it's out of sight, out of mind. He's just thinking that because he's not seen Mike in a while. And so I ask you, if Mike is fully healthy, is Ohtani better than him? Who would you rather have, Mike Trout or Shohei Ohtani on your team?
Okay, I'm having Shohei Ohtani just because of the fact that he's just a weapon all around the field. He's a he's an all-star.
But he's not a weapon in the outfield like Mike Trout is.
See, but like that's the question. Would you rather have a very good hitter, very good outfielder, or a very good pitcher, very good hitter? He can steal bases too. Like he's just
to be fair, Shohei is benefiting the change in the rules on the base pass. And so, you know, Mike hadn't even been able to do that yet. But I guarantee you, you know, obviously base stealing is not about just speed. It's about being able to read the pitcher. But, you know, I can obviously tell you that Mike's faster. But I do prioritize his defense. That's why when it came to the WAR stat, he was always ranked number one because of his defensive ability. But it's all right. You know, you're a younger guy. You're falling for the bait. Mike Trout's still the guy. When he comes back healthy, you'll remember.
all right.
The Shohei was also 2 for 19 in the World Series. Don't think I didn't see that either. I'm just saying. However, Freddie Freeman, who we predicted to be the X factor before the World Series, I shared that clip like every game after he hit a home run. I was like, we called it because we had Ike Irish from Auburn on, and Ike told me, he goes, no, it ain't going to be Freddie. He's too hurt. He hits that walk-off grand slam game one. Not only did I put it out, I sent it to Ike. I said, don't look too hurt to me. And then he does the game two. I was like, that's crazy. Dude reminded me of Elko, you know, no knee, torn ACL twice, out there hitting home runs in the postseason, and then you see him on a bum ankle acting like nothing's wrong. It's crazy, man. That adrenaline rush, right?
Oh, there's no doubt, man. That was awesome just to watch because like I've heard so many good stories about how good of a person he is, and man, like just seeing him out there. And I had no clue about all the stuff he was going through. Like, he was hurt. I didn't know anything about that. And I'm over here watching him hit like what, a 7 home run streak or something like that. 7 game home.
Goes back to last World Series. I think it's 6, but yeah, 6 consecutive World Series games with a home run. It's just crazy, man. Like, it's never been done before. Probably never will be done. I mean, serious heater. And it's crazy because Daniel was like, he's gone like 1 for 4 in every one of these games. Run has been like the go ahead or the walk off, and it's like, if you're only going to get 1 hit a game, make it count, hit it out over the fence, and give your team the lead. So, dude's got ice water. And you talked about character. Austin Riley came on here and talked about it, and it was crazy because Austin was first team All MLB the second time he came on when he was talking about Freddie, and he was acting kind of like a big fan of his, right? You never expect him to be teammates and Austin to be on a high caliber the way he was just talking about Freddie. And I thought that was so cool because when you have a guy in the same locker room, but you lift him up to that status, it tells you everything about it. But the last one is not a this or that. It's a hypothetical that we've added. Normally don't ask too many people, but I know that you're a deep enough thinker. You can answer this. So the hypothetical is you find a book. You're cleaning out your room or whatever. Like, what is this book? You start to read it. As you read it, you realize this book is about your life. All right. You get to the point in the book where you're at right now in your life. Do you continue reading or do you put it down?
I'm continuing reading 100%. I feel like there's so much more to come. I feel like God has so much more to come just with me and what I'm going to use for like further on in my life. Man, I think I feel like this is just the beginning.
So let me ask you this, the little caveat Daniel likes to throw in there. So if you're reading and you get to the point where you're at, and then there's only a few pages left, it's like a 500-page book. You've read 496 pages, and you get to the point there's only a few pages left. Do you still read then, or do you decide, you know what, I don't want to know how this plays out?
It kind of depends, man. Like, well, I'm reading now 100. Like, I'll scan through it if anything. But if it's just like a book that I'm being forced to read or something like that, and I'm like, I know the conclusion. I know like if it builds up, and then I know the falling action and the resolution and all that. I know how it, and I can kind of like picture it. Then I'll skim through it and I'm like, okay, that's the ending of it.
I'm not a big reader altogether. I read the Bible, which really shows that I love God because I don't like to read it all. And so I don't even know if I'd read a book about myself, Talon. I'd probably be like, you know what, this is boring too. I don't know. I'm one of those that's never been a big reader, but you're off the hot seat. Is there anything you want to plug or promote before I cut you loose?
We can promote my Instagram. It's Tito_Haley. That's TITO_HALEY. And
then Lewisburg is, I believe, Berg. Yeah, the Berg baseball. If you want to keep up, get a chance to see the schedule. I recommend going and seeing these Lewisburg boys play. Obviously, Talon has hyped you up. Told y'all, they're going to be fun to watch. They're going to be a scrappy group. So get out there and watch them. But that being said, man, I really appreciate you being on, Talon. I hope your story, and continues to inspire people. And, like I said, don't lose that spark. Continue to have fun playing the game, and wish you nothing but the best of luck this season and as you go further into Vanderbilt.
Man, thank you. This has been awesome, man. I really appreciate you having me on this. And like I said, this has been a really, really good time.
Absolutely. Well, that is Talon Haley, everybody. This is just part 1 of a 2-episode night. We will be back later tonight. I will have Daniel Ball. We will have Tucker Bivin from Louisville Baseball. But in the meantime, remember, strong body, sharp minds, grit and grind all the time. We